They charge $500 an hour. They fly business class to give you advice your intern could have Googled. They say things like low hanging fruit and strategic alignment, and somehow no one punches them. They're management consultants, and the only thing more confusing than what they cost is what they actually do. So, if you've ever sat through a meeting, heard someone say, let's bring in a consulting firm, and thought, what are we paying them for? This one's for you. Let's decode the most mysterious, overpaid job in corporate history. Ask a consultant what they do, and you'll get a TED Talk.
So what do you do?
They'll say things like, I help Fortune 500 companies optimize performance through strategic transformation initiatives, which means absolutely nothing. Here's the thing, the vagueness is on purpose. Consulting is built on abstraction. It sounds smarter, more expensive, and less accountable that way. At its core, a management consultant is someone a company hires to help solve business problems.
Damn, okay.
The problems can be big. Why is our market share collapsing? Or small? Why does our supply chain fall apart every time it rains in Shanghai? Consultants come in, analyze the situation, make recommendations, and then, if they're fancy, present a 148 slide deck with graphics, frameworks, and exactly zero jokes. Who hires them? Everyone. Massive corporations, struggling startups, government agencies, charities, even other consultants, which is just beautiful.
We have so much to learn from you.
Okay, let's break it down. What do management consultants actually do on a day-to-day basis? Short version. Meetings, slides, more meetings, slight panic, spreadsheets, sleep, which is optional.
I can do that, no problem.
Long version. 1. They gather data. They interview people from across the company, frontline workers to C-suite execs, asking open-ended questions like what keeps you up at night and pretending to care. 2. They analyze the numbers, spreadsheets, so many spreadsheets. If there's a chart, matrix, or quadrant to be made, a consultant will make it and color code it like their bonus depends on it. 3. They build decks. PowerPoint isn't a tool, it's a religion.
Religion's meant to be for everybody.
The average consulting slide includes at least one framework, one sweeping generalization, and a footnote so vague it might be quoting itself.
Presentation is just,
4. They present their findings. This is the big moment. The consultant stands up, clicks through 70 slides and says, after our extensive analysis, we recommend streamlining operational inefficiencies to improve synergistic outcomes. Translating, do things faster, with fewer people, and try not to suck. 5. They leave.
why?
That's right, consultants don't stick around to implement their ideas. They deliver the strategy, not the execution. That part's up to you. Companies love them.
And for what?
Consultants are experts in looking for experts. They may not have the answers, but they sure as hell have the fonts. Still here?
Yes!
Congrats.
Thanks. Seriously.
Now you know more about consultants than most junior execs.
Subscribe to the channel because it's free.
Please like and subscribe.
So now you're wondering, why the hell do companies pay these people so much? Let's start with numbers. Entry-level consultants at big-name firms, they're walking into six-figure salaries straight out of university.
6 figures?
Senior consultants, double that.
Seriously? Seriously? Seriously?
Partners? Oh, we're talking 7 figures, easy, and bonuses that could fund a small country's education system.
I never ever thought this would happen.
And the firms themselves? They charge clients anywhere from $250 to $1,000 per hour per consulting. Yes, that's right. So how do they justify that? They bring in expertise, which is sometimes code for PowerPoint templates from 2015. They offer objectivity, which really means we're not emotionally attached to firing your staff. And most of all, they carry brand weight. Just like you don't buy a Rolex for the first time, you don't hire McKinsey for the advice, you hire them because their name looks great in the board minutes. It's expensive theatre, but the suits are tailored, the coffee's from Colombia, and the slides, they sparkle.
Then the show's off.
Now, let's look at the greatest hits. McKinsey and Company. The consulting Beyoncé. They've worked with basically every major company and government on Earth. Also, they advised Enron. Oops. McKinsey's been praised for transforming organizations and blamed for helping companies fire thousands, kind of like the corporate version of a controlled demolition. Bain and Company, famous for being nice, also famous for private equity cost cutting. Translation: Bain shows up, runs the numbers, and tells the company to restructure, which usually means layoffs. They call it efficiency, HR calls it a nightmare. Boston Consulting Group, BCG. The brainy ones. BCG loves frameworks, especially the famous growth share matrix, aka the cash cow and questioning thing.
I'm not in the habit of consulting.
Why the hate? 1. They don't actually do any work. Consultants make recommendations. They don't build, execute, or stick around for the fallout. It's like a food critic telling you how to run your restaurant and then leaving before dinner service. 2. They recycle old ideas. Yes, sometimes they show up with brilliant insights, but sometimes they dust off a deck they made for a different client, change the logo, and boom, custom strategy.
That takes strategy.
3. They're hired to justify hard decisions. Company wants to lay off 20% of staff, blame the consultants. Wants to cancel a failing product line. Hey, it came from the analysis. In a lot of cases, consultants aren't there to solve a mystery, they're there to make a decision look legitimate. 4. They cost a fortune. Consultants are brought in to save money and then charge millions to tell you to spend less money.
I know that sounded like a joke, but that is a great idea.
But here's the twist. As much as people mock them, they keep getting hired. Because when your company is stuck, panicking, or just wants to impress investors, bringing in a name brand firm feels like doing something.
Are we still invited to the company retreats?
Are management consultants actually useless? Or are they just misunderstood, like pineapple on pizza or people who clap when the plane lands? Here's the truth. Not all consultants are created equal. The bad ones, they regurgitate cliches, borrow ideas from Harvard Business Review, and leave a 300-page deck no one reads. But the good ones, they bring clarity to chaos. They help teams focus. They push big companies out of their own echo chambers. Because when you're inside a massive organization, it's very easy to miss the obvious. You're surrounded by internal politics, outdated systems, and legacy decisions that no one remembers making. A good consultant comes in, asks smart questions, maps the mess, and says, hey, maybe the problem isn't the sales team, maybe it's just 17 layers of approval. In other words, they're business therapists, just like actual therapists. Let's bring this home. Should your company hire a consultant? Maybe. If you've got a big strategic decision, a total mess on your hands, or executives who don't agree on anything, a good consultant can help things get moving. Just make sure you're hiring them for their brains, not just their brand name. Now, should you become a consultant? Here's the checklist. You like solving puzzles with people yelling over your shoulder. You enjoy spreadsheets, hotels, and not seeing your dog for weeks at a time. You can say the words deliverables, value add, and framework without cringing. If that's you, go for it.
I'm going for it.
Consulting can be a great launch pad. You'll learn fast, work with smart people, and build a PowerPoint tolerance that's honestly kind of impressive. But it's also high pressure, long hours, and not a lot of room for ego. You're not the CEO, you're the advisor they can ignore. And if you're thinking about it for the money, just remember a consultant makes a lot, but their cost per hour of sleep is horrifying. So, what do consultants actually do? They slide into companies with big promises and expensive suits. They organize chaos, challenge assumptions, and sometimes they just make pretty decks. Some are geniuses, some are frauds. Most are somewhere in between. But now, at least, when someone says, we brought in a consultant, you'll know exactly what that means. If this video helped you finally understand what consultants actually do, or at least helped you fake it better at work, do us a favor. Smash that like button, subscribe, and share it with your friend who just added strategy consultant to their LinkedIn, but still won't explain what that means. More truth bombs, more overpriced frameworks, coming soon.